Now we will move on to part 2 of our demonstration. This is the home page at the College of St. Scholastica's website. Please be advised that it's continually updated, but this will be the home base. Here you will find the options for both your complete coder education and training and for your provider training. Here you'll find information on the curriculum itself. You'll be able to sample training modules. You could dive down deeper into course curriculum, options for pricing, group purchasing, requests for more information, credentialing and designation of the trainee developers, technical requirements, CME, accreditation information, and CEU information in regards to completing the training modules. I'm going to go ahead and log in. As I mentioned in the first component of the training, the demonstration will have a very different view than those of at an organization. For example, there aren't any statistics because there aren't any enrollees in the demonstration side. Depending upon the type of training you select will be your identified categories for training. For example, here it's showing both provider and coder options. I'm going to go ahead and go into the provider training side. And you'll see here you'll have learning modules on the curriculum overview. Here is a subset for primary care, getting started, and just a brief reminder of why it's so important to be trained within this competencies before the transition. I'm going to go ahead and go into one of the learning modules. Here you'll see the provider is introduced to critical information prior to getting started on the topic at hand. It goes into the documentation requirements that are critical for acute kidney failure. It provides examples of codes so they can see the description of the codes and the detail found within this subsection. Particular relevant data related to the topic. A case example to focus on the elements of documentation that are critical to code acute kidney failure in ICD-10. Here the provider will have to identify immediate discussion, further analysis of the documentation, and again, critical discussion, the correct codes in order to code the case compared to ICD-9 codes. A critical element is also feedback and comments from providers. The training itself has been modified several times based on provider feedback. Looks like it makes you actually select one. And then your results. So the case itself again, what you selected, and then the selected components that are relevant documentation that would impact this coding of this condition of acute kidney failure. I'm going to close out. And again, this would all be captured within the statistical component as snapshots. And when a provider logs in for the first time, they're actually capturing information about that provider. So the information would also be catered to the top diagnoses that that provider would be dealing with most commonly. And so the groupings of the categories themselves are going to change based on how the organization determines that they want those categorized. I'm going to quickly show an example of the coder side. So introduction, the codes, critical rules, guidelines, and sequencing that affect the coding of HIV. Additional relevant data, and an application component, so you're applying what you just learned. So you will need your code set and your guidelines and your other resources. I'm just going to go ahead and select one to show you. Immediate feedback. And then the correct code selection. You are able to complete these modules as many times as you wish. So a person's percentage can go up. You can monitor that. You can see how many times they've done it. And then again, as we mentioned, post-training. So this is the training component of it. There is the app which allows healthcare providers and non-clinical providers to utilize this information as a resource post-training. So they can pull up, I'm coding or I'm documenting for HIV and I need to know the critical components for ICD-10. They would either utilize the Dragon technology and voice activate those resources, and or they can select a category or a particular disease set that they would like to look at. So I hope this helps. We'd be happy to provide additional information. Thank you. And again, we truly believe that this philosophy, this learning management style is very accurate, very short, and will help in the transition process. Thank you.